minutes of their time this morning just to share with us. Hi, I'm Steve Whitaker, head of school at the First Academy, and I'm delighted to welcome you to Royals TV. This is a new experience for us, and we're excited to invite you onto our campus for this special production. We trust that wherever you are, whether it's on your iPhone or your computer or TV, wherever you're watching from, that you'll enjoy this and learn more about some of the exciting things going on the campus of the First Academy. So that'll be a little bit of a convenient thing for them to be able to do. And so we'll walk through this, and I think most of us know each other, but just since we maybe don't know each other, we're going to introduce ourselves. And also, I see somebody already filling it out, but this little questionnaire is for you to list some questions you'd like to have answered, and we'll give those to Carol, and then she can answer the questions. If we don't get to all of them this morning, then she'll email you a response. So a little bit about the school year, look at the 2010-2020 strategic plan. Those are some of the things we'll do. So Gil, let's start with you. Introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your girls, and we'll introduce ourselves now.
Sure. Gil Livesay, better known as Suzanne's husband. And
Micah's dad.
getting used to, and Micah and Ren's dad. Getting used to having a student at middle school level, Micah being in 7th grade.
You're just used to it now.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, and just seeing her kind of turn the corner some, and some of her study habits, and kind of what it takes to be a student. And then Ren in 5th grade this year, and I'm spending a little more time on campus these days doing some subbing and part of the after-school program.
Great, thank you, man. All right, speak out.
I'm Suzanne McGowan. I have Grace, who is an 8th grader. And she and brother just graduated from GFA last year. All know this. That's all.
Maria Hamilton, Sarah Hamilton is my daughter. She's in 7th grade with Micah. I also had Rebecca graduate and this last year from TFA, and so far the school year is going really well. That's it.
Now, Rebecca's at Stetson, right?
No, she went to FSU.
FSU, and that's going good for her?
Going great, yes.
Good.
We're unlike, we talk to each other every day. The first year, the first week, we were Skyping 4 hours every night.
Oh my goodness.
So glad I didn't let her take the car.
Yeah.
Looking home, she said that.
That's funny. That's good, all right.
I'm Tracy Eckhoff. My daughter Leah is in 8th grade now, and Ethan is in 4th grade, and this is our 2nd year here. So.
Thank you.
Sabina's here, Nicole is in 8th, Alex is in 6th. We've been here forever, it feels like 9 years ago, I guess.
Awesome. Good.
I'm Leanne Horton, and my daughter Anna Kate is in 7th grade, and our son is at our local elementary school. He's not at TFA right now.
But he's going to be back.
I hope.
I coached Chase when he was in, what, 1st grade basketball?
Yeah.
Chase has the best smile in all the world. If you ever want a kid who will light up your day
He
with a
does
smile,
every day.
Chase has got $1 million
He's
smile.
in 3rd this year.
Great.
And we just really couldn't financially do both kids, and last year it was a good year. Anna Kate was going to middle school, and it's how we kind of, prayed about it. And as soon as we asked him, he's like, "That's great, Mom, whatever." I mean, he's just such a great kid.
Wonderful young man.
Yeah.
Well, our school year theme is To God Be the Glory, kind of reflecting on 25 years of blessing, and the Ephesians 3:20 passage that we've chosen. The calendar of events, you've probably seen this, but let me just kind of walk through some things that are a big highlight. Pastor Appreciation Month coming up in October, Upper School Fall Musical. I would just pause there to say, it's easy for a lot of us to get fired up about football on Friday night or a volleyball game. But if you miss the opportunity to see these kids on the stage do their thing, you're missing an incredible blessing. They're really talented, passionate, and good at what they do.
It's actually not a musical. It's
Yeah.
straight play.
Yeah, so if you guys want to just be blessed, it's just a great thing to come and be a part of. I mean, they're tremendous. Homecoming week, Hall of Fame inductions are on the Friday night of homecoming. The book fair is the first week of November, and then Veterans Day services by division, admissions open house. That's an important date. We'll talk about that in a minute, but everything we know about how schools share their story with their community is that it comes through parents. In spite of the efforts we make to put stuff in magazines, and you'll hear us on the radio occasionally, sometimes you almost do that just because you want to be in the same space as your competition, right? But the real strength of our story is told through parents. So just inviting a neighbor or a friend to come and visit is a tremendous help to us. So then a nice full week of Thanksgiving break, if you haven't looked on your calendars to see that whole week is off. And then the all-school Christmas program in the month of December. This is a snapshot of enrollment over the past about nine years. And each year we've been blessed to see God bring a few more families to our campus. And we're honored by that. You know, you look at through the course of the last 2 or 3 years when many schools like us either faced difficult enrollment times, or they actually had to fold up and close. And we're grateful for God's provision in terms of enrollment. I thought it'd be good to you see some of these folks around campus. This is Brian Rose, who this year is serving as our interim upper school principal and doing a fantastic job there. Jerry Chambers, who's the chief financial officer. Bill Buffton, who is our capital campaign director, development director. You'll hear from him in a second. Are you here, Bill?
I'm here.
Bill's here. Tim DeBoone works in our finance office. Mary Kay, speaking of admissions, works in the admissions office. Then Luke Michael, director of technology. And if you've been around campus and seen the iPads in action, some of those things, Luke has really been the genius behind all that. Daryl Don, who's the athletic director. Warren Eck, who's been here a really long time. I think Warren's been here somewhere in the neighborhood of 16, 17 years. And takes care of everything that's operation, the facilities, the property, the buildings, all that. Then Dr. Higgins, who leads our curriculum and instruction efforts. And Lucy's the person who we've asked to wake up every day asking the question, how do we get better in the classroom? And that's really what she's passionate about. And the end of this month, we will have an FCIS accreditation team on campus, Florida Council of Independent Schools, for accreditation visit. Once this is complete, I believe we'll be the only school in Florida to have membership and accreditation with the following organizations: the Southern Association of Independent Schools, Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, Association of Christian Schools International, Florida Council of Independent Schools, and the Council for Educational Standards and Accountability. You say, well, why in the world would you do all that to yourself? Well, it's the same reason why we go and get a master's degree or a PhD, because we want to be the best we can be in our field, right? You want your doctor, when you go to have your surgery, you want to know there's some stuff they've done to get better over time. And that's the same thing this is. It's just people coming in from, you know, a dozen different schools around the country on this accreditation team going, hey, you guys are doing a great job here, but you need to step it up a little bit over here. And so that's what we're doing. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, you know, for people to critique you, but that's okay. We're big kids, we can take it. And so we subject ourselves to that willingly. Amber Lale, lower school principal. Carol, who you'll hear from in just a moment, in the middle school. And then Joe Fana in the classical school. I thought about today just giving 3 or 4 quick thoughts on, as we begin our 25th year, some reasons to celebrate, because this was really a 1-year-long birthday party, so to speak. And I think the first thing we should celebrate as a school, and it should always be the first thing we celebrate, is the celebration of spiritual formation.
And really what that is helping our kids look more like Jesus tomorrow than they look like today. Anything we can do to encourage them in their faith is what we need to be doing. 3 John 3 says, I have no greater joy than to know that my children walk in truth. That's a really nice idea for those of us who have children enrolled at TFA today. It's even a better notion or concept for those of us who have children at colleges that are not Christian colleges. And when I get a call from Amanda about just leaving Campus Crusade and the unbelievable worship time they had and all of those things, you go, wow, she didn't have to go to that, right? Daniel didn't have to go do whatever. Now she gets it. Now she's seeking out those relationships that will build her up. And so we want to see our kids, not just here, but those who have left us, do that. A couple examples of that would be Kimberly Russell, great young lady who graduated a number of years ago, went to University of Florida. After Florida, went to a Teach for America program in a course school in Charlotte, North Carolina. Then left there and went to Harvard University. And while at Harvard, she told me the story of how God called her to move to Kenya and invest her life in an orphanage there. This kid could have gone anywhere. And today she and her husband are doing this ministry, which is extraordinary. John Wood, another great young man who had all the potential in the world, and God's using him as a pastor in Nashville, Tennessee. There was a study done recently, of the largest study of its kind to date. And they studied Christian school graduates and asked the question, are Christian schools delivering on their promise? What they found out about Christian school graduates is this. And by the way, this study is about 50 pages long. If you'd like to read it in detail, you can go to just Google Cardis Education Survey. It's a fascinating study. But this is what they found out about Christian school graduates. They're more committed to their families. These are kids who are now in their 30s, okay, 28 to 30. And these are kids who also were studied and normed for consistency. In other words, everyone in the study had the same family dynamics. Their family incomes were all the same. They attended this Christian school for the same number of years. They studied the same type of courses. So they normed, so we look at it apples and apples, okay? And they compared them to their Catholic school counterparts and their public school counterparts. So when you see more, it means that the other two groups were less influenced in this area. So more committed to their families, more generous givers to the church by far, more optimistic view of life. They sought careers that provided meaning and impacted society. This is an interesting one. You know, the stereotype is that Christian school kids are quote right-wing, crazy nuts at, right-wing picket people, and they're the ones out. No, they found that compared to their public school and their Catholic school counterparts, they're less politically active and more likely to be compliant, more likely to seek consensus, and far more likely to participate in missions and ministry activities than their public school or Catholic school counterparts. So, an interesting study, but if you want to read the full detail, I encourage you to do that. This is a quote that Pastor David shared about 2 weeks ago when we were together, but what makes a difference here for us? I love chapel, but it's really not about chapel where spiritual formation takes place. I love our all-school worship times. I love all that. What makes the difference for us is life on life. It's one teacher, 3 or 4 kids at the end of class praying together because someone's going through a difficult time. It's a coach with 3 or 4 kids at the end of practice talking about what's happening in someone's life. That's what makes the difference. It's called the living curriculum. That's what we call our teachers, because we believe more about life is caught than taught. And so when we talk about spiritual formation, this is really the essence of that. I think secondly, though, we can celebrate scholastic excellence. The Bible teaches us that no matter what we do, we should do it with excellence for the honor and the glory of God. So whether it's having a player in the WNBA like Crystal Thomas who wears her faith on her sleeve and is an advocate for Jesus no matter where she is, or whether it's Austin Josiah at University of Pennsylvania, another great kid who's there excelling academically and letting his testimony be lived out, or whether it's students in the arts that are performing in oftentimes an environment where there's not much friendliness toward faith. These are the things we celebrate, and this is what makes us distinct and different. Brother Jim Henry, former pastor, says that from the very beginning, when the first academy was founded, the word that he wanted to distinguish his school apart from all the rest was excellence. So why do we take great care to make our campus look as good as it does? Not out of pride, but because we have a commitment to excellence. Why do we want kids to get accepted to the best colleges they can go to? Because we want excellence. And whether it's academics, the arts, or athletics, a vision for excellence is what this founder was all about. And then finally, celebrating biblical stewardship principles. We want to have a good plan. And we talk about our strategic plan. We touch on school board leadership, strong support staff, stability markers that we look at in our business are things like balanced budgets, which for 9 years we've done that, or enrollment growth, which we've done that, or hard income. That means basically that we run the school based on what comes in tuition. If you look at 15 schools in Central Florida, not one of them has this high income commitment that we do, or hard income commitment, meaning most of them have to raise money to balance their budget. And so there's this sort of dicey worry, am I going to raise enough money this year to balance our school budget? Am I going to finish in the black or finish in the red? We've chosen not to do that. We've said, listen, whatever comes in tuition income, we're not going to spend more than that. Okay, that's what how we're going to run the school. And then gifts and pledges. Since 2003, there have been almost $20 million given in gifts and pledges to help advance the school strategic plan, to renovate spaces like this, to build the upper school, to hopefully build the middle school real soon, and Bill will talk about that. And again, Scott Boyd, one of our dedicated volunteers and school board chairman, talks about the fact that we're not done yet, that we really want to press on to get some projects completed. The vision of our founders was that there would be a self-sustaining campus for the First Academy, and we're almost there. And we want to get it done. So reasons to celebrate: every win, every area, whether a kid accepts Christ, a Thespian Troops win something, a high SAT score, or a state championship football program. We want to compete and celebrate like champions this year, and that's kind of my goal, is to help us all think about competing and celebrating like champions this year. So what I want Bill to do is just give us a 2 to 3 minute, I said 5 minutes, now I've done to 2 to 3 minutes ago because we're running behind. But I want him to talk about the capital campaign. And let me say this. The secret to this campaign is not the size of any one gift. It's a broad base of commitment. And so whether a family can give $1, $1,000, or $1 million is irrelevant. What we're trying to do is demonstrate a commitment to the future of our school. The fact is that my kid goes to school in a building that I really didn't pay for. When I got here, there was some great stuff going on that someone way before me invested in. So I could sit back and just enjoy the blessings, right? I'm not sure that'd be the right thing to do. Probably a better idea is to pay forward and go, listen, I'm enjoying this today. I'm going to do a little something for the future so that when my kids have kids here, they're going to go, wow, I'm glad they did that. I'm glad they finished that middle school. I'm glad they did that whatever. And so Bill's going to give us a couple minutes thoughts on this, and then we'll do some Q&A. Have a clip.
We're going to use this last time. It was awesome. Bill Buffton, I'm the development director at First Academy. I also coach varsity boys basketball. This is my second year. I have 5 children that have all gone K through 12 Christian education. 4 that are out of college, 1 that's still there. I have 2 children at TFA, but they're not students. They work here. Bo Buffton does lower school sports and a bunch of other coaching, other things. You might know him if you have lower school children. And also, Ashlyn Buffton is a 4th grade teacher this year. So it's really nice to be able to see my children come back and invest in the lives of children like someone invested in the lives of them. And now they're repeating that process, and someone else will get inspired and do the same thing down the road. So it's been a great experience. We've loved it. We've loved being at TFA. Real quick for the capital campaign, because I have 2 or 3 minutes, I don't like to really read to adults, but really and truly, the core deal is that we would love everyone to be involved. This is really the founders of the school at one time when it started the church. Their vision was to have everyone on one campus. That's what we're really trying to do. Those of you that either are in middle school now, because you are, or have had kids in middle school, we just know that we can do school better in a new building over on this side of campus. We're doing it pretty darn good with what we have, but we can do it way better over here. And so the goal is $5.5 million, and we're going to build this building when we have the money. We're not going to go into any debt. We do carry a little bit of debt at school, but it's something we can manage really easily. But in these times, it's just better and wiser for us to be able to not go into any more debt as a school. So we do have a volunteer team, and that group is being formed, and they're going to be like little hound dogs here in just a little bit, going after your money, I guess, is the way we want to put it real nicely. But middle school, these are the stats. It's going to be the wing onto, the wing right here onto the high school. This would be the front of the high school and the parking drop-off area. This is the gym. They would have their own separate entrance on the back side, and there's all the stats of all the things that are going to be in that building. And so it's a great deal, and the reason we really chose to do it this way is because the plans were pretty much in place, because that was the plan. We were going to build both wings back in the day. Everything below the ground is already set and ready to go. It's a thing we could build the fastest, most economical, and get it up the quickest, and we really just want to move dirt and build this building and get it done. So that was one of the reasons why we went that way. This is kind of a, if you're more of an architectural type of person, here's kind of what it looks like. This would be the back entrance. This is the front of the high school. Here's the gymnasium. So you can kind of put it into perspective of where it is. It's 2 stories. Here in the middle is a little black box theater. We'll see about 125 people, so we do small performances and band and music, drama, and all those kind of things. It's just another view from the outside. And obviously we have a phase 2. It's a gymnasium, field house. You know, we have 80% of our kids are involved in sports. We have 6 volleyball teams right now, trying to use 1 gym. We have 10 basketball teams in the winter trying to use 1 gym. PE is only a couple days a week, because a lot of the reason is because we just don't have the space to continue to have, so it helps all day in the classroom and all those kind of things. So phase 2 will begin right after phase 1. We're just going to be in a great job security for me, because we'll be in a continuous capital campaign for a while. Phase 2 goal is a little bit more, and the overall goal is about $12 million at the end of the day. There's a little rendering of the field house. Right out here in this little grass area, between, like in front of the gym and by the upper school, when you drive along Loop Road, you can look out there. That's where the new field house will be. It will kind of connect to the existing gym. There's the front of the existing gym, and that's just an artist rendering of what that's going to be. As you can see, I think we have a couple pictures here. Here's our campus. This is the wing that we would like to build immediately. Here's the field house area here on Loop Road, and this would be down the road. Eventually we will build another middle school area and convert the wing that we're building now probably into the high school, and this whole deal here would be. So those are long-term plans. Just kind of give you an overhead visual of what that is. Obviously, there's never a development director that's going to come in and go, boy, we'd love to have less than 100%, because that sounds really cheesy. I will tell you this, that ISM, Independent School Management, will tell you that most schools like us have an average of 64% of their families give to annual funds and capital campaigns. I've never heard us say at the First Academy that we wanted to be average. Everything we talk about in spiritual formation, in our academics, and our athletics, and our arts, and everything we want to do, hiring teachers, hiring coaches, doing all those things, is we always want to be excellent. So we're just going to do that and say we want to be excellent givers. There's no reason why we can't be excellent givers. That we can give of what God gave us, that everybody can participate in the campaign. And as Dr. Whitaker said, whether you can give a little, a lot of people think in a capital campaign, boy, I can't give it. If I won the lottery, I'd give you all of them. Well, we're not looking for lottery winners. We're looking for people who have been given something from God, and whatever that amount is, they can give to it. And so whether that's just a little bit or a lot, it all accumulates, it all moves the meter. And so we would just like everybody to participate. I kind of came out of a culture of a school that was very, very good at that, and so it is a culture of philanthropy, a culture of giving. I kind of look at it as my most valuable assets in my life are my 5 children. Why would I want to invest in them, in their future, and also invest in the kids that are going to come after them? And so that's kind of where we're coming from in our development office in this campaign. So if you haven't given yet, we'd love for you to participate. We've sent out a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff on the website under the development thing. If all of you came to all school worship, you've seen a little animation video that kind of walked you through the building. If you haven't seen that, that's also on the website. And so we'll drive people that way. And if you would like to get off of our list before our volunteer teams call you, that would be really good, because it'll make our jobs just a lot easier. And we would love to get this done, as soon as possible. And so, and the quicker we get everybody's commitments and gifts and things like that, we'll move forward with what we're doing. So,
Good job.
is there any questions? We're done.
I
Go ahead,
would
Carol.
have a comment.
Sure.
When we did the last campaign for the high school building, actually, it was much more visual. Everybody wanting to be involved, or were asked to be involved in the giving. Wherever you went on the campus, it was a reminder, and everybody, you wouldn't dream not being part of it. This time it's very benign, very low key. I mean, it was great. I mean, I was hunting, please shut that off. I was hunting my husband, telling him, we have to find, what are we giving? Because you wanted to be part of it. This is like, yeah, it sounds good. There's no excitement. It's missing. I mean, I remember, I thought at the time it was so cheesy, but it got you excited. Having those drapes where the cutouts were, remember when we walked by the administration building, you could put your face behind it, and then there were names and, I mean, I remember seeing that, I thought they have lost their mind. But you know what? It was a reminder every time you were on campus. You wanted to be part of it. We were told that teachers, every teachers, we have, whether that was true or not, I don't care, I don't want to know. We were told every teacher, 100% participation. As a family, I wouldn't dare not participate. I don't get that this time. Quite frankly, I thought about it, yeah, we should give something, but we have time. I mean, it's just not the excitement. I'm telling you, flat out, this is how I feel.
But hopefully we'll get there.
We'll give, but it's not like, you will not get 100% with this laxy-daisy. This is my personal opinion. I think we need to wrap it up and get the visual, get it in the people's face. That's how you're gonna get it.
That's awesome, and we're going to get there. We really have taken last semester to do some behind-the-scenes work. The reality of a campaign like this is, while we need 100% participation, we have to have several very large gifts to get the momentum building. And to this point, we're still working on a couple of those large gifts. So part of that momentum is making sure you got momentum. Does that make sense?
Right. You're
Okay,
right.
so,
So there will be announcements. We have
Yeah,
so
but
much in the
right, we
pot
just have
right
to
now.
get-
We need just this.
we
little
got to
more.
get, when we were doing this last time, remember, the economic times were a lot different than they are today.
Right.
Okay, so, I was having meetings with people who were, just writing huge checks, and I was going, where'd that come from? Okay, so this time out, we are trying to be a little more patient, but when we get there, then we'll have that momentum. So it was a different time, and so we have to sort of pace ourselves with that. I believe we're going to get there, but we don't want to get out ahead of it. And does that make any sense?
Yes.
It was just a different time, and
That's
so
a big part of it is that everybody expects that they're going to go to high school, and that was a high school building being built, and the chunk of your
Right.
people are in high school.
right.
And people think high school education is way more important maybe because of elementary school, so they're willing to put into that. Middle school is kind of like, well, I'm sorry, Carol, I don't agree with that, of course.
Right.
But,
No, that's a good point.
but
No.
to that, there has to be some kind of education about how important it is for all of our students to identify and be on the same campus, like you said. We can do it so much better over there.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
So we
great
gotta
point.
get lower school revved up for higher, for middle school.
I think
That's
so
what
to
you're
a degree.
saying.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Our committee in the lower school is
Big
amped up and
deal.
ready to go in there,
I'm sure they
getting
are.
their committees ready to roll this
Roll it
thing
out.
out, so.
Good segue though. Kara, why don't you come and just talk about why this is important? Give us 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll let you field questions that folks have, okay?
Okay, sure. I have been here, this is my 16th year. And I think since the very first day I set foot on campus, building the middle school was always a part of the plan. And so we've been very excited to see what God's going to bring together. In talking to teachers, and just what's the difference between that, we call it our side of campus, and the rest of the world on this side. We're looking at classroom space, size. Our rooms are smaller. I was talking to a teacher today who taught over here for a couple of years and has moved over. She said, I never had issues with kids tripping over backpacks. Now all of a sudden we're like all squished on top of each other. Technology is huge for us. We don't have the lovely, we have cords strung, and poor Gil, he's been over keeping things up against walls and trying to make it work. We have wires hanging from ceilings, because again, we don't have that ability like we would have over here. Security is a huge issue for us as well, and as you know, we're an open campus, kids walking back and forth. We love our mama, First Baptist Orlando, but with the initiation of Love Orlando, we've seen a lot more traffic on our campus, which is the reason for loss of hair and the ulcer that I've created over the last several years. Because I go home every night just praying I don't get a phone call, we've got a child that never showed up, wherever. So you know, that's a huge concern for me, that security of knowing everybody's over here. Loss of academic time because of travel back and forth. It takes about 6 minutes for kids to travel, and that's if they're booking it, and these are middle schoolers, and booking it is not part of their vocabulary. So we figured out the other day that you know, we're probably losing 30 to 40 minutes a week of academic time for those classes that are sandwiched in between electives. So loss of that academic time. And then just the feel of being part of the family. We're kind of the middle child. And those of you that have more than 2, you know what that middle child syndrome is. You get the hand-me-downs, you know, and all those kinds of things, which we are very, very grateful for. But again, from a morale issue for faculty, as well as just being part of the TFA family, I think is very huge for a middle school as well. We actually received an email just this last week from a family with 2 middle schoolers that were looking to come to TFA. And the 2 top reasons, that there were several others, but the 2 top ones were separation of building and lack of technology. They went to a different prep instead. So we have families that are looking at that, and we're losing families in our middle school area because of it. So I see this as a place we need to step it up. We need to get in line with what else is going on campus, and that will allow our teachers to just even be better at what they're currently doing. And they're doing a phenomenal job with what we have, but I can't even imagine what they could do if they had all the bells and whistles and were part of the main campus. So.
Good.
There's some questions? Okay, let me get some glasses.
Oh,
I crossed the 50 mark some years ago. I don't tell you how many years, but
Classes are now a part of life. Still confused about 6th grade being under the lower school umbrella. Okay. As we took a look at where 6th grade is housed, running back and forth, I'm really not able to be a part of everyday life with them. And so we really felt, one, it was in the best interest of our students, of our faculty, to have immediate administrative assistance. Love 6th grade, great team. I can't say we ever really had any issues, but again, the fact that I'm not there. And that makes a whole lot of difference when mama isn't there. You know what your homes are like. Daddy's not there. Things kind of fall through the cracks. And so we really wanted to give them the full benefit of having on-campus administration. We also took a look at that transitional time between 5th and 6th grade and really felt it was important for our students to have that connect as a 5th and 6th grade team, both for the faculty and for the students. So creating that intermediate team is a huge help academically. I'm already hearing teachers talk about some of those changes that are happening, probably more so for 5th grade than for 6th grade. bridging that gap and helping our kids be better prepared, the ability for the teachers to have more of plan time together, to communicate academically what's going on, what do we need to do to be better prepared for sixth grade. And I think it's just been a good fit all the way around. I know the conversation at lunch, having fifth and sixth grade, seventh and eighth grade, I think has been very good as well too. So
So will that stay in place at the new building? Will the new middle school building just be seventh and eighth grade?
So lower school will continue to be up through sixth grade. And really, that's if you look, you can do research. I just came from a National Middle School Conference this summer, and there are all kinds of scenarios. K through 6 is very, very common. K through 8 is another one. 7th through 12th for high school without a middle school at all. So there are lots of different combinations. So I don't feel like we're stepping outside of a box of, whoa, where are we going and what are we doing? It's a very natural transition for a lot of schools.
So are they officially not part of middle school now? Or sixth graders officially?
That's, I guess, where the confusion
Yes.
is right there.
Well, we're continuing middle school programming in
Okay.
that they still have 7 teachers. They're moving from period to period.
Gotcha.
And again, that's that small building step toward middle school. We don't want to lose that. We want to give them that ability to start to learn, but it's under a little bit more confined scenario than it is even in 7th and 8th grade. We have 7th and 8th grade classes that are combined. We have 7th graders and 8th grade classes. So we've got 8th graders taking high school classes. So again, we're taking that little step toward high school, where 6th grade is taking that little step toward middle school.
Can I just make one comment from maybe a child's standpoint? Because my 6th grader, I hear this complaint all the time. He says, because when they're going from 5th to 6th, they are like, yay, middle school, we get all the benefits of middle school. And his biggest thing is, well, now 5th grade's with us. And he's like, how comes we didn't have recharge last year, but they get recharge? So it always seems like 6th grade, well, personally, my son's grade level, they say to get the wrong end of the stick.
Yeah.
And
Wait
so
a second, my kids told me the same thing
I
all
was
the way
gonna
through.
say,
It's a conspiracy, they're all telling us
I
that.
do that at my
So I'm
house.
like,
My older ones will say, you never let us do what you're letting Faith do.
Yeah.
You would have killed us if we would have done that.
Oh, I totally get that, but I was like, I hear you. I'm just telling you what the feedback is from a 6th grader who, was looking forward to the benefits of being in middle school
Yeah.
and having those little extras and.
Which they still have, but now they're sharing it with 5th grade.
Exactly, and that's what he
Sharing
says
it with
it's not
brother.
fair. That's what I hear, so.
Well, and I totally understand, but again, I think if you even look at your own homes, you're hearing that from
Oh,
kids,
yeah.
older ones to lower school or younger ones
It's just
as
hard to
well.
explain it, yeah.
Well, I always reminded my children, I don't remember anywhere in scripture where it said life was fair. But the fact that you enjoyed those benefits, why would you not want
And you don't
someone
want somebody else to have them. I want it for
Yeah,
myself.
Okay, let's talk about that side of things.
Selfish.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And there will be some other little perks as they head into 7th and 8th grade. So,
That doesn't help.
I
though.
know, I know.
I know.
But you know what? I appreciate so much the fact that you guys are continuing to partner with us and help us with this. I know transition change is never easy. None of us like change. But I think this is a step in the right direction for us as a school and for our children and for our faculty. And ultimately, that's really what it's all about. So thanks for helping us on that. All right, next one. How are decisions made regarding middle school sports, coaches, sports offered, etc.? Is there any parental input in these decisions? As it relates to sports, I mean, we pretty much have everything that varsity has on the varsity level for middle school. I'm not sure, are we looking to add sports? Are we looking
My question
for-
pertained more toward how coaching decisions are made and our
As far as
parents ask, who coaches? Yeah, how did this coach do last year? We get the survey monkey things, but they're very
Right.
vague, thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot of specific questions asked, and, it feels like there are stepchildren in the sports program.
Okay.
We understand football is big in the South, and we get that.
Yeah.
But it still feels like some of the programs are stepchildren.
Okay.
And it often
Okay.
feels like a parent has to take the lead and push it and push it and push it, and as parents, we're not all able to do that when our kids are interested in some sports, we just don't have those skills or abilities. And that kind of is my concern.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I don't think we have a soccer coach yet this year, do we?
I don't think so. But you see, again, those are some things that we deal with every year. Soccer in particular is really hard for us to find coaches. I know we've struggled at the varsity level. My son played soccer from the
I
time
know.
he was in kindergarten through high school, so I can feel that pain. I know that Coach Don, from an athletic standpoint, as director, reviews the coaches every year. I know we've made switches sometimes in the middle of years because of what we felt was not a good fit for us as a school. But that's a place that I think, again, we need to take a look at, review. But I think it's also a place that, as parents, you can really help us because you know a lot of people in the community that maybe you could say, hey, here's someone I'd like to recommend. Because we don't have, ears everywhere, so. And trying to find people that are a unique fit for who we are as a school.
Right.
We can find
I
good
understand the
soccer
challenges,
coaches,
I do, yeah.
but sometimes they're not the type of coaches we want on our campus. So again, if you've got any names out there or people that you think would help us, and again, whether it's coaching or teachers or staff, if you hear something coming home that you feel is inappropriate, please let us know. You don't have to wait for a survey monkey. There's nothing more frustrating for me as a principal to sit in June and have a parent in my office talking about something that happened back in September. And why are you just now telling me about this? I can't do anything about it this late. So please just let us know, because we're here to make things better, and we can only do that if you guys let us know. Because a lot of times you'll hear things a lot sooner than we will, because kids will come home and tell you, where they will never step into my office and say, hey,
and I really appreciate that. I hesitate to do that at the first time I hear it, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, your emotions are high. We're going to step back and revisit this next week. If it's still serious, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And we all have bad days. I mean,
Right,
there are
exactly.
days
And I want to take that into account, yeah.
Boy, I sure hope nobody heard or,
Right.
saw what I did today. We all have those moments. But if it's a pattern, please let us know.
I appreciate
and
that.
regardless if it's a coach, a teacher.
And I think it's not necessarily that per se.
No,
Yeah.
I understand. I understand. But again, we have to partner together. Just like I can't be in every classroom at every moment, Coach Don can't be at every practice or on every field.
Right.
I know also, we've got a group of boys right now that really want to start a boys volleyball team. But we also have to take a look at equality. We can't have more guy teams than we have girl teams, and so there's a lot of dynamics that play into it as well.
I know they were talking about that for middle school, only if they can't get a soccer team because the same boys signed up for soccer. But I'm throwing out Gild's name for soccer, by the way, because Gild has played soccer, so he has a lot of knowledge.
I know,
so I'm
but now
throwing
he's
his
doing
name into
aftercare till 6. Would you guys be okay with practice at 7 o'clock?
I'll
be okay with it. With Mrs. Mrs. Lips will be okay with it.
So I'm throwing his name in the pot here.
Yeah, okay. What is the best way to share concerns regarding teaching methods, styles? And again, I would just encourage you, email me, give me a call, drop me a note, make an appointment to come see me, because again, I can't be in every classroom every moment. So if something's coming home that just doesn't seem quite right, and it's a pattern, let me know, because again, we're here to work together to make this the best place ever.
Carol, I would just say on that, I know we're getting close on time, but every year we do a communication survey internally to all of our employees, and we basically ask the question, when you need something, are we responding quick enough, right, Carol? We all, I think we've done it like 5 years or so in a row.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to do that this year with families as well, because we need to know, are we responding quickly? So hopefully you'll look for that in the next couple of weeks or so, just to give us a sense of how we doing. Because we don't want to be delayed in our responses. We don't want to put you off a week or 2 or 3, because you need answers, right? So look for that, and please take advantage of an opportunity
I think it's
to
a great
grade us.
idea. I remember several years ago, there was somewhat of a campaign, if you call it that, on campus for people to stop the car line and parking lot.
Right.
Did you hear about this? Did you hear
Right.
about that? I would love to see that again.
Right.
The emphasis made on, could you please go directly to the source for your
That's a good idea.
information?
Well,
It just kind of seems necessary again.
we'll put that in the communication survey That'd be that's a great idea.
Tie it all to the whole expectation that teachers will Matthew 18 people. I think that's a fair
Right.
expectation of everybody that's part of the school
That's a
community.
great point.
Exactly.
So, how about one more question, and we'll let you guys get out of here.
Okay, is it possible to sync middle school and high school schedules better so that students traveling between campuses don't leave during class time? Yes. Get us the building. That's the quick answer to that question. There's a couple more here, but I will email, I guess, the whole group. If we
We're gonna try to blog the answers too.
Oh, okay.
Good. Super. Thank you, guys. I was hoping we'd get out of here in 45 minutes, but a little over time. I apologize for that.
Thank you.
If we missed something, you want to add a question, please do that, and we'll respond as quickly